Mr. Toops. And we're doing Unit 1.1, Assignment 4. Okay, this will be the last lesson before our first test. First test is just solving equations, okay? So this is Unit 1.1, Assignment 4. Hopefully you've got it off canvas. You got the assignment with you. The assignment looks like, let me get to it. Looks like this. Okay, so notice Unit 1.1, Assignment 4. Okay, you're going to have a test over this in a couple of days, so make sure you get this done. Okay, today we're going to solve a proportion. You did this in junior high. Okay, you did this in junior high. So the steps go over here to the right. We're going to write down our notes. Okay, what a day. Okay, step 1 to solve proportions. Let's see how we're going to write this down. Set the cross products equal to each other. Okay, you cannot cross multiply and divide anymore. That's how you did proportions in junior high. When you cross multiply, you're going to have an equation. So you just can't cross multiply and divide like you did in junior high. You've got to show these steps, okay? Later on, you're going to learn this as the means equals the extremes. This is what it will be called later on in math. Okay, so when you set these cross multiplies equal, you're going to set the means equal to the extremes. You'll use that terminology later on in your math classes. Okay, step 2, just like yesterday, combine the variables. After you combine the variables, you'll combine the constants, just like the other days. That's why we're testing so soon, because this won't be that hard of a test. Step 4 is to divide the coefficient. Okay, so we're going to set the cross products equal to each other. You cross multiplied last year, but then you just divided. On this one right here, after we cross multiply, we're going to have to combine the variables, combine the constants, and then divide the coefficient. Okay, so we're going to have a little bit more steps here. Okay, let's go to number 1. Okay, in junior high, you might have done the butter or the box, right? Remember doing that, the bat and the ball? This won't work because there's 2 B's, right? So we can't do that anymore. So if you want to, you can put an X here. So I'm going to take the 6 and multiply it by this, and take the 8 and multiply it by this. So I'm going to take this 6 and distribute it to both terms. If I want to, I can put a little bitty 6 up here. So 6 times B is 6B, minus a positive times a negative is a negative. 6 times 9 is 54. So all I did was multiply this B and 9 by 6. Now then down here, I'm going to take the 8 and multiply it by this, aren't I? But this won't go on the left side of the equal sign, it will go on the right side. Okay, so 8 times B is 8B. A positive times a negative is a negative. And 8 times 10 is 80. Oh! Okay, so we got that? Okay, now then I need to combine the variables and then combine the constants, right? Which variable is smaller? Okay, hopefully you can figure out that 6 is smaller than 8. So I'm going to move the 6 across the equal bar, right? Because they're on different sides of the equal sign, aren't they? When I move that 6 across the equal bar, the opposite of a positive 6 is a negative 6. So I'm going to have negative 54 equals to 2B minus 80. 8 minus 6 is a positive 2. Okay? Since my letter is on the right, my number is going to have to go to the left in it. The opposite of a minus 80 is a positive 80. We're going to put it over here underneath 54. Okay, I'm running out of room. I'm going to put it over here. Negative 54 plus 80. 80 is larger than 54, so it's going to be, I got more 80s than 54s, more positives than negatives. It's going to be positive, and I won't add, I'll subtract. And this is going to end up being 26. So I'm going to get 26 equals to 2B. Now then divide by 2, divide by the coefficient, and my answer is going to be 13 equals B. That was fun, huh? Okay? All of these are going to be the same thing, okay? Let's do this one's a little different because you have the letters on either side, right? On this one right here, both of the variables are on the same side. Let's just go down and do number 7. Same thing. Okay, so number 7, if you want to, you can draw your x. I'm going to take the 8 and multiply times the x minus 3, put it on the left. Multiply the 3 times the x minus 2 and put it on the right. So I'm going to take my 8 and put it over the x and the 3. 8 times x is 8x. A positive times a negative is a negative, and 8 times 3 is 24. Equals 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times negative 2 is a negative 6. Okay, now then, what x is smaller? The 3x is smaller than the 8x. So I'm going to take that 3x and move it to the 8x. Okay, 8x minus 3x. That's right, it's 5x. The minus 24 drops and the negative 6 drops. So now I just combine my variables. Now I've got to combine the constants, don't I? So I'm going to take my 24, move it across. Oh. And then we'll have 5x equals. I have more 24s than I do 6s, so the sign will be positive. I won't add or subtract. I'll take 6 away from 24. So it's going to be a positive 18. And a lot of these problems will have fractions. If you divide this by 5, will 18 over 5 simplify? It will not. Okay, there's no factors of 5 that go to 18. So my answer is going to be x equals 18 over 5. And you leave it improper. You won't make that 3.6. Any questions? Pretty simple stuff. This is the same thing you've been having. We're changing a sentence to an equation and then getting the answer. So let's do one with a less than. The less than is going to be the hardest ones to do. Okay. I only see one less than here, so let's go to number 12. Okay, we're going to circle the is. Remember, the is turns into the equals. Okay, everything to the left goes on the left side, everything to the right goes on the right. There's only one thing on the right, so I'm just going to drop it. And then on this side right here, the less than means minus, right? And remember, if you have less than, you flip. That's the only time you'll flip. So this won't be 11 minus c, it'll be c minus 11. Now to solve it, we'll just move across the 11 and we'll get c equals 42. Oh. So any questions about that? Pretty simple stuff. Okay, you're going to do wonderful on this. This will not take long. Okay, you only have like, 6 more of the proportions to do. This will be very much test-like, okay? So very simple stuff. You're going to do great on this. If you need any help, make sure you message me in Canvas. And remember to always believe, and you are amazing. You were created to do wonderful things.